Hola. Today on the show, I'm in conversation with Andrew Wilkinson from United Kingdom. He's a racing cyclist, Ironman triathlete, and a high-altitude mountaineer. The fact that he attempted the World Ironman Championships 10 times in his life speak volumes about his extraordinary endurance and fitness levels. And the fact that Andrew tried to scale the highest peaks of each of the 7 continents speaks volumes about his incredible passion for adventure. He was able to scale 5 out of these 7 peaks, that is Kosciuszko in Australia, Aconcagua in South America, Delis in North America, Elbrus in Europe, and Kilimanjaro in Africa. He was on his way to scale the highest peak in the world, that is the Mount Everest, in 2007, when after climbing around 7,500 kilometers up to the summit, he developed cerebral edema and was not able to complete this feat. So up next, he talks about his journey as a triathlete and his passion for cycling. Hi Andrew, welcome to Road Benders. Thank you so much for joining us and taking out the time to share your experiences with us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So Andrew, you've been a part of a number of competitive races and you've won a number of competitions. So I wanted to know, when did you start your whole cycling journey and when did you step into competitive races and what was the motivation behind it?
Okay, so I started cycling when I was 17, which is 39 years ago now, dare I say. And I started cycling, I suppose, essentially to get fit for a skiing holiday originally. And the more of it I did, the more I enjoyed the freedom, because at 17 I lived out in the country. I could get out into the roads to explore, and so I started to do more and more of it. And then a couple of years later, they started to televise the Tour de France for the first time in the UK, and that just completely got under my skin. So ever since then, I've been passionate, enthusiastic, obsessed, whichever one you want to use, or all three.
So, you've been cycling for quite some time now. So how has it changed the way you look at life?
It's made me more open to. It's made me more open to, I suppose, my environment and nature, and it's also probably given me a discipline as well, because I have a very structured training program which I stick to quite rigidly. So all of those things. I mean, I'm a big traveller. I love to explore. I love to find new things. Only yesterday I took my mountain bike out and took a track which is 4 kilometres from my house, which I've never seen before, and it was just brilliant. So there are lots of many different facets to it, and they've all changed my life in some way or another.
Right. So you are both into bicycle touring as well as racing.
Sure, I probably wouldn't go so far as to say touring, in the sense that I don't go on my bike from one place to the next, but I will. I'd love to take my bike to Scotland, to the West Highlands of Scotland, where there are miles and miles of trails to explore, and lots of things to see there, and I do like the kind of adventure exploration side of it. So I like to use the fitness not just for racing, but also to go further and find new things and explore.
Right. So, which are the main big races that you've been a part of?
Okay, so I was the biggest races I did were when I was a triathlete actually, and I did the World Ironman series. So I was really looking to combine travelling and racing, and I raced all over the world, from Europe, New Zealand, Canada, USA, Canary Islands, lots of different places.
Right, nice. So, can you tell me the high points of your cycling journey?
Taking part in those races was definitely a high point. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think high points come on almost a weekly or a monthly basis. You know, yesterday was a high point because I found a road that I'd never been on before. So I think there are scales of high points, really, from taking part in some of the biggest races in the world and being able to travel and being able to meet lots of people, learn lots of things, right down to exploring local roads or going to Scotland. But all of them contain different high points, if that makes sense.
So, what according to you is the key to cycling long distance?
The key is to, I think at least, to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the process, and not to focus too much on the outcome. So if you want to cycle 150 miles or 200 kilometres or whatever it is, then I don't think the distance should be the be-all and end-all. I mean, the distance is great when you do it, but you've got to enjoy every mile in the process. You've got to enjoy getting there as well as actually arriving.
Right. So, can you tell us something about the bike that you ride and the bike that you recommend to beginners?
Okay, so the bike that I ride is Fuji Roubaix, and Fuji Roubaix is an American company, and it's kind of not going with the trend towards carbon fibre. It's an alloy frame, but it's very light. The reason I specifically went for that is because I'm a heavier rider at 85 kilos, and the road surfaces around here are not that great, and I don't think a carbon fibre frame would last too long. So it's Fuji Roubaix. It has Shimano bits and pieces on it, and fairly standard wheels. I'm not massively into the kind of tech side of things. I like to get on and do it, and you know, if only I could be a professional with a mechanic to just do the bike, and then I could get on and ride it, that would be great.
Right. So, what about the bike that you recommend to beginners?
Well, the bike I recommend for beginners is or would be the best bike you can afford, but not the most expensive bike initially, because I think you've got to know that you're going to enjoy it, and so buy a bike which does the job to start with. And then as you get more and more into the sport and you start to find out what you like and what you don't like, then go for a more expensive bike after that. It may be that you start out with a road bike and then decide that you actually like to ride on gravel, like to ride on roads. So to start with, just buy the best bike you can afford, but then later on, then perhaps you can specialise and improve things.
Right. So, after riding for so many years, can you recount one memorable incident that you still remember?
Probably the one memorable incident I still remember is winning my first race, which was a time trial. It was a 10-mile time trial, and it was. I can remember the roads now, but I don't know how much it means to your viewers, but it was just south of Birmingham in the UK, and I won the race in a time of just over 22 minutes, I think, and I just couldn't believe it. I was completely floating on air on the drive home. It's a magical thing, and I had to keep pinching myself for days afterwards. But it's a brilliant feeling. It doesn't happen very often.
So what was the distance? What was the distance that you covered in 22 minutes?
10 miles, 16 kilometers.
Nice. So, when you're cycling long distance, is there any specific diet plan that you follow?
I tend not to have a particular diet plan. I would just tend to go for a healthy diet. So fruit, vegetables, carbohydrates for energy, but no sort of junk food in there. You know, not too many animal fats. Certainly no fast food, anything like that. It's just a sensible, healthy diet, I think.
So you've been a part of so many races, and so how do you control nerves before a race? Like, what do you tell yourself right before you start a race?
Okay, well, I think there are two things to this. First of all, I never go to a race with an expectation of winning, but I do go to a race with an expectation of performing to the best of my ability. And I also go to a race, hopefully with the knowledge that I've put the work in to be there, I've put the training in to be there. And I think after that, there's really nothing to worry about, because if you go there and you know that you are doing the very best that you can, and you know that you've prepared in the very best way that you can, it's no stress really. you just got to do it. I think as soon as you start, because it's something I used to be guilty of, is looking around and thinking, oh no, he's got a nice bike, or oh no, she looks really fit, and that's immediately sort of undermining you mentally. You just got to focus on you and know that you've done the work, and know that you're going to be the best that you can be.
So with that, we're at my last question, and that is if you can say a few words for your fellow cyclists.
Okay, well, enjoy it, first of all. That's fundamental to everything. Enjoy it, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, work hard at it. I mean, the point is everybody has it within them to get better, to get fitter. I mean, I'm 56. I still am pretty fit. I still, just this year I've been asked to be a brand ambassador for a company called Unbound, and that, at 56 years old, that's quite something. There are no limits, so everybody has it within themselves to improve. So enjoy it, go for it, and there isn't much else I can say really. That's fundamental.
So thank you so much, Andrew. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much for sharing all of your experiences with us, and wishing for a number of endless happy rides to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I enjoyed it. It was great to speak to you.
Thank you.